Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next segment of our day, which we're calling story time. The next person up will be Courtney Graham. She's been waiting very patiently today. So Courtney, if you can unmute yourself. And I think when you start speaking, you should take over the screen if I'm not wrong.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me and see me.
We can.
Okay. My name is Courtney Graham. I am 26-year-old. My son is sitting right next to me, so I'm sorry if he jumps on the camera. These are my attacks. This is a light spasm attack that I've dealt with. I received the first dose of Pfizer August 18th, and I need everybody to hear me when I say this confirmation that I just got yesterday. I was in a chiropractor in June, and he tested me for neurological issues, which I showed none. I got confirmation of this yesterday. So this just leads more to me developing all of my symptoms and issues post-puncture. My symptoms started out as, sit down, baby, sit down, honey. I'm sorry. My symptoms started out as spasms in my hands, chest pain. I suffered from weight loss within the first 2 weeks. This is life of a mom. But so I got within 12 hours, I got chest pain. I cannot take full breaths. I deal with fevers on and off, numbness in my hands and my toes, internal tremors where I feel my brain rattle, which is not normal and not okay. I have dizziness, high heart rate. I deal with heart palpitations now. I was sent to a neurologist specialist who specializes in multiple sclerosis, otherwise known as MS. Go say hi to Papa. Go say hi to Papa. So I had a brain MRI that showed I have brain lesions, and they were leaning towards my symptoms being multiple sclerosis. My neurologist specialist took a spinal MRI on my back. I do not have spinal lesions, so they are now saying I do not fit the criteria for multiple sclerosis. Yesterday I experienced, and I get emotional because my story is real and there's so many like me. But yesterday I experienced my first full body spasm, and it lasted about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't really remember much of it. I had my spouse home who witnessed it, and just tried to calm me down. But I'm just dealing with a whole bunch of neurological issues that I never ever experienced before. I never felt the way that I do now. I have brain fog where I just forget what I'm talking about, or I forget. I'm like short-term memory type issues that I'm dealing with more so. I have heart episodes where I feel like I'm having a heart attack. We called paramedics to my house this past weekend because I had an episode, and I'm being told the same thing. My vitals are okay. This could be anxiety, but this is more than anxiety. I don't believe that my anxiety has ever caused me to feel or have the issues that I do now, and to have so many doctors not knowing what's wrong or how to help me, or they push me away because I bring up that I got the vaccine. It's scary. because you don't know if you're going to get answers or if you're going to be heard or if you're going to get help. But for them to push something that's so safe and effective and not have your back when you go through issues from it. This is me. This is my life after I decided to get the first dose, and it's scary and it's not fun. So yeah, I don't know really what else to talk about other than my symptoms and what I'm going through, and to show you guys the attacks. Like, my hands never used to shake like this, and I never used to deal with the issues with my speech and everything. My life is completely flipped upside down since getting this first dose, and getting answers and getting heard is my #1 priority. So if anybody does have any guidance on a doctor who can help me find the treatment to make my symptoms stop, please reach out to me. Any social media platforms, I'm Courtney Graham. You can look me up. I can give my contact information to anybody needed, but yeah, I just ask for help, and I just ask to be heard, and I ask for people to take my story and other stories that are about to be told into consideration on how serious our country situation is right now.
Thank you so much, Courtney, for sharing your story with us today. I want to let you know there's a doctor in the chat that said that he may be able to help you. So just look real quick and connect with him.
Okay.
And it is really heartbreaking to hear that you can't get the help that you need, and that when you say the word, I've had the vaccine, that you're not being heard. So we really appreciate you coming today. I know it was really hard for you, but we will do our best to get the word out to other people as well. So thank you so
guys.
much.
I appreciate it so much.
I'm going to quickly interject. Courtney, thanks for sharing. I mean, that's really sad to see. We don't know of an actual antidote to the damage that is being done by these vaccines, although there is some anecdotal evidence that drinking pine needle tea, which contains a compound called suramin, and suramin has been used for over 100 years in treating some parasitic infections, but there is some evidence that it might be able to slow the production of the spike protein. So something to try for sure.
Okay, I will definitely try that. I appreciate it so much.
Okay, so I'm gonna, if Michael Stiers is still on the call, if you can unmute yourself and share your story, that would be great.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That was pretty hard to watch. And you know, that definitely something that I'm going through as well. A little backstory on what happened to me. April 16th, I got my first Moderna shot. The next day when I woke up, my head felt like it was full of concrete. I had extreme dizziness, confusion spells, weakness in my legs, and my arms. I had a lot of trouble walking throughout that day. Those basically progressed throughout the month to the point where I couldn't do anything. I would just lay on the floor all day because I felt so sick, and, you know, not to use the term too loosely, but I felt poisoned. You know, it was very shaky. I couldn't form sentences properly. I couldn't think straight. You know, they were basically mostly neurological symptoms for the first month. I was in the hospital many times. They did multiple blood work analysis. They've done, MRIs, they've done CT scans. Again, all coming back normal. Luckily, I have not found any lesions on my brain as of yet. So for the last 6 months, things have actually progressed into different types of symptoms. It's gone, I'm still having the neurological issues, but now they've spread to weight loss. I've lost over 33 pounds. I have muscle fistulations in my feet, in my calves, in my biceps, my back, my eyes. I've noticed that I'm getting, I've been told that I'm getting partial focal seizures, mostly when I look at a screen for too long. And again, I was completely normal before this. I was a completely healthy 38-year-old. My wife is a personal trainer and nutritionist. We've always taken care of ourselves. And the onset of symptoms started a day after my vaccine. I've seen 7 different specialists that have all dismissed this. I've even had one specialist tell me and ask me the question if I was doing this for money. And he told me that you cannot sue vaccines. He's like, suing vaccines is like suing the devil. It will never happen. And I said, sir, respectfully, the last thing I want to do is get money from this. The only thing I want to do is get better and to fix whatever is happening to me. And I just want to reinforce, what most of the doctors on the second panel were speaking about when they were saying, the spike is traveling through the entire body. It's wreaking havoc. It's doing this, that, and the other thing. And, it's one thing to read it in papers, but it's another thing to see it in real world and to go through it, to have your own experience with this, because it literally feels like you're sick from head to toe, from neurological to cardiovascular to GI symptoms to, muscle wasting and weight loss. There's days where I feel so sick that I'm not sure I'm going to make it through the day. And that's the God honest truth. And the crazy thing is that I'm not the only one. I'm in support groups with vaccine injured, and we all have very similar neurological issues. Most of them are neurological. Some are cardiovascular, others have GI symptoms, but the majority of them are neurological. And one thing that I found very interesting is we share a lot of symptoms of long haul COVID sufferers. And the only common denominator between the actual COVID infection and the injection is the spike protein. So that right there should tell you that the spike is not staying in the deltoid. It's not staying in the draining lymph nodes like it's supposed to. It's spreading throughout the body, and it's making us sick from head to toe. You're going to see all kinds of progressive diseases in all different organs. What makes this the hardest is that when we try to share our stories, when we try to ask for help, when we do whatever we can to spread awareness, we're completely silenced. We're completely shut down. Never in my life could I imagine trying to do what's good for the community, for my son, for my parents, and getting the vaccine, and then getting sick, and then completely being dismissed. I never thought that could be a reality. I always thought that the doctors and the medical system was there to protect us. And this is something that has completely shifted that reality. And it's proven that, well, to me at least, that majority are for the narrative, and they won't allow you to, say that this is what it's from and be treated properly. To be honest, I don't think there is a treatment as of right now, a 100% treatment as of right now. Most doctors, in my opinion, are going to try to stamp out every fire that they see, meaning if it's a neurological issue, they'll try to treat that. If it's cardiovascular, they'll try to treat that. If it's GI, they'll try to treat that. But that's not going after the culprit. It's not going after the cause of this. And we need something that is going to eradicate the spike and clear it from our system before it's there for too long and causes too much damage. And I don't know if that's possible, but from what I can tell, that's the only step to fixing this. Because the amount of people that are going to be affected, the amount of people that are going to be devastated by this is going to be astronomical. And again, in my opinion, I'm not a professional. In my opinion, this is going to be one of the biggest pharmaceutical disasters in human history. And I say that not because I'm basing it off of, articles, or I'm basing it off of YouTube videos. I'm basing this off of real world experience with tens of thousands of people that I see every day. And we have hundreds added daily. The odds of all these people experiencing similar side effects and it not being the vaccine is nearly impossible. Oh, what happened? Hello?
No, you're still there. You can keep going.
Oh,
Yep.
I think someone, sorry. I think someone tried to join. One interesting thing that I've observed is that 70% of this are women, and majority of those women are affected more than men. Now, I don't know if that's part of our culture and men are more afraid to speak out, or if the immune system response in women is more robust, but it's affecting women terribly. I mean, I'm seeing people in just full body seizures, multiple times a day. They're having speech issues. They're having, balance and sight issues. It's terrifying. And for anybody watching this, I just want to let you know that we are real, we are sick, and we need help. And silencing this is not going to fix the problem. If anything, it's just going to make it worse. And if we get to that precipice where we can't stop this, I'm not sure what kind of calamity we're going to be looking at here. And it scares me. I just want to say thank you to everyone that presented today. You guys have reconfirmed a lot of my suspicions, a lot of my research that I've done on my own because I can't get doctors to help me. I've went as far as ordering my own microscope and taking my own blood smears and seeing the coagulation in my red blood cells compared to other healthy people around me. And my blood smears look like I'm riddled with autoimmune disease or I'm an 80-year-old man when I've always been a very healthy person. And all of this transpired the day after I took my shot. So I couldn't see it being anything else. I just don't understand how the specialists and the technicians that I've seen, and, I've even considered going to Mayo, but feel like they're just going to tell me the same thing. They're like, well, yeah, you do have a low C3 complement, you do have a positive ANA, but we really don't see anything else. Yeah, we noticed that you've lost 33 pounds, but we're not sure what's going on. Let's order a bunch of blood tests for GI stuff. And all of that basically comes back normal. Oh yeah, we notice your neurological issues. We see some of the things when we do some of your tests. Let's do MRIs and CTs, and those come back normal. So if these things are coming back normal, there's something more sinister, more microscopic at play. And it's affecting our whole bodies. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. It's a breath of fresh air to hear like-minded people in one place. And I'm praying that something something, you know, surfaces here that we can get some kind of help before this becomes, you know, a huge problem for our country and for people around the world. So again, thank you for the time that you've given me.
Thank you so much, Michael.